when ACC education, when or if you have children, it's very important that you do not abuse or rape your children in the AA community specifically or especially. I mean, this is for anybody, period, point blank. Raise them properly. Do not beat on them or spank them. You do not want or need your children to get used to getting hit on. It's so important that you raise your children to believe that you are for them versus being against them. They're all you have. They're the only family that you have. If you come to this country, they brought you to this country so you can have children here, so they can have a whole nother set of African American community, their own sorts of black people. Just like in London, they have their own sorts of British people. Those people were people that were from Africa and colonized in the UK. And so you guys were from Africa and were colonized here in the United States. And now this is your state, your country. And so therefore, when you have your children, make sure these are your treasure. If you are not mentally stable to keep your children, do not keep them as an asset. Give them to the what is it called? Take them to the, give the government a chance by putting your child, because if you raise your child properly, like when I had my child, what is it called? I took my child to an agency. No, they took my child to an agency because I saw in New York that this black girl, instead of taking care of her daughter or her son, she just left her baby on the train. That is the worst thing you could do. If you don't want your children, don't leave them in the middle of the street. They are watching you. Imagine what's going to happen to you. Do not do that. Just take your kid. I know it's hard. I know it's frustrating, but drop your kid off at the nearest police station. No matter what you think or feel the police has done, not all or every police officer is bad. They have to follow the law. The police officers cannot be disobeying the law. They have to do things by law. They have to do things right. They cannot live off of racism and be a cop at the same time. A lot of them may, but that's going to change. That's starting to change already. Right? Especially after the march and seeing how much of a threat that they are to the people of the black community here in the United States. So a lot of them have really made a difference, but a lot of them don't even care. They'll beat you up in secret and they'll turn off the cameras. I mean, I've heard them talk to me. I've heard some people tell me on the street. So now what we want to tell you, like my daughter, I'm telling you, my daughter, when I had my daughter, when I was 16 years old, I prayed to God. I was a babysitter. This beautiful black lady, African-American lady, came up to me. She was mixed, I believe, because she had like that good hair, that Indian mixed with white or mixed with Spanish or something. And she wanted a babysitter. And I was 15 years old. And I babysitted my daughter. And I babysitted her children. Now, mind you, the woman that gave birth to me, she's the one that told me, she said, don't hang around those niggers. She was a racist black woman. She's a racist African woman. She does it racist against the African Americans. I'm not racist against African Americans because I understand what you guys have been through. I hung out with you guys. I was in the hood with you guys. My ex-birth mother, I don't even call her my birth mother anymore. When she was in the house with me, she's like, no niggers over here, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, they're going to beat you up if you keep talking like that. You know, you don't know, you're not here to educate them. You coming here to make them feel bad about who they are. I know a lot of them are messed up, but you know, you just got to rise above the evil and try to understand what they've been through. Like that woman, you can't explain nothing to her. She just got evil in her heart. She thinks she could just come in this country and act like she has no solutions. She wants us to cling on to us, but abuse us and rape us and talk. She's just garbage. She's just not the type of woman that I want in my life at all. And so just aside from that, God blessed me with a daughter. You know, God blessed me with my daughter, Mia Mohabir Kalia. And, you know, because I was, you know, messed up, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was trying to run away from home. I was abused at home, you know, by her. I was, you know, beaten on a lot for no reason for hanging with boys. She's like, don't hang with boys. Why wouldn't I hang with guys? Like, I'm not about to be up in here hanging with a bunch of girls. Girls can't give me no children. If you don't have money, you don't have no business being gay, sleeping with a woman. What are you guys going to do? You're going to need to build an empire. You're going to need a family. Who are you going to pass your money on to? A stranger? Okay, if you're going to be gay, then at least adopt children. If you're going to be gay, there's nothing wrong with whatever decision you make is your decision. We're not here to tell you don't do this. We know if what you like, you cannot go against, tell people to not do what they don't like. That's why America is free. It doesn't discriminate against people that choose to be gay. In Africa, they kill people for being gay. That is a wrong reason to kill people for being gay. People can't control how they feel about other people. Right. So it's very important to just be like, to just understand what people are going through. And people have been abused by men. And so some girls don't want to be with men. But try to understand me. I'm a woman and I can't be gay. I can't afford to sleep with other women. For what? For what? What is she going to bring to my table? I need children. Overall, I can't be with a man anyway. Here in the world, I have to be with God. I mean, I have to allow God to, when God comes to this earth and God comes to bear me the children that he says or promises he'll bear me, when he's ready, he'll do so. But God doesn't want me to sleep with guys around here. He doesn't want me to be around these men because he's like, what are they going to do for you? These guys are not for you. You know what I mean? They're not for you. And there's nobody even going to ever stand up and be like, to me, I'm serious. They're not, because I'm too powerful for them. Even if it seems like I'm not, I am. They can't stand me. They can't stand to sit around me and just work. The ones that I'm around, they're either already taken by another company, they're working for somebody else. But for me, a man to come up to me and tell me, oh, I'm here to work to serve you. How? If you want to sleep with me right away, that's not what it's all about. God doesn't want guys to come to try to sleep with me. We have work to do, a lot of work to do. And so as far as that's off the table. But as far from what God is telling me, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, you have to have somebody to espouse or something. And I'm like, I'm patient with God. I know God is somebody that is going to come through for me, just like he came through for me, and got me and helped me with housing. And I know it's not God who did it alone. It's a whole group and a whole team and a whole organization and foundation by the power and grace of God. But it's by the power and grace of God that we even have this country and are winning and continuously winning, right? We can't be mad at God. Now, after having my daughter got adopted. I got put in a psych ward, in a psych ward, fighting for my to recover from my mental health, receive the Holy Spirit. You know, that's what happens when you're filled with demonic spirits. And I didn't know I had demonic spirits around me. I felt holy. I mean, I didn't have demonic spirits. I actually didn't have demonic spirits in me. Demonic spirits started to attack me. A lot of times darkness comes to you when you're filled with a lot of light. I had some anger. I had a lot of anger, but it wasn't that much anger. Like, I probably was hiding a lot of anger, and it was built up, and it had to be removed, and it ended up turning into it just ended up being removed at the end of the day. And I had to get that anger out, you know. And, you know, a lot of times you hide your anger behind your smile, but a lot of times you have to deal with your anger. And when I was over on the 3rd Street Promenade, I was dealing with it. I sounded like a crazy person, but I released all that madness out of me, and I stopped drinking alcohol. I used it as a way to cleanse when I was drinking alcohol. I had no choice, but I realized that alcohol was not doing anything for my body. Imagine if my daughter was with me and I'm under the influence and some strange man takes her and rapes her. Thank God she was taken into the system, but didn't stay in the system. She got adopted right away. Why? Because I raised my daughter. I did it the best that I could with my daughter. She was listening. I held her. I breastfed her. Even I spanked her. Yeah, I hit her with a Rockstar belt one time. I didn't know what to do. I felt, because children get stronger and sometimes they don't feel it anymore. They don't feel the pain. And then the thing is, when you bring another man in, a strange man in a child's life, and they start bringing their own rules, it confuses children. So my daughter, I had trained her well enough to a point where I didn't even have to spank her anymore. I just had to give her the look. The minute the man, Tyshawn, came in my life and told me to stop doing what I was doing, my daughter started retaliating, and we had to start from step one. So we're going to talk